Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. The end of this week is Halloween, so I figured I would do more of a horror-based video showing some pretty cool covers of horror books. Now, you know, when you're on this channel, you don't have to go too far, you have to or look too hard to find horror books. So I figured I grabbed a bunch, and you know, I didn't grab everything, and I didn't grab everything from a particular series. I tried to grab a decent amount from certain series just to show everybody. And I'd like to dedicate this video to Dr. Von Chilla. I know these type of videos don't really get too many views because, well, you know, despite how many people actually like these type of books, very few people, I think, actually spend a lot of time collecting them for whatever reason. But I know there's a lot of people out there, a lot of you out there that do appreciate these type of videos. And one is definitely Dr. Von Chilla, who could really appreciate and educate you on what a good cover is. So I think we'll start with good covers in horror. You might have noticed I restored the photo of the dudes, you know, me, Patrick, Dr. Von Chilla, and good old Nick over there. Trying to change things up a little bit around here. But anyway. So I got a whole lot of stuff to show you, and I'm going to try to do it in quick succession. Now, sometimes people say, oh, you're going to show all those Golden Age stuff. And yes, there are going to be some Golden Age books here, without a doubt, because it's a large part of my collection. But I have a large amount, and like I said a few moments ago, not every single book, right? Not every single book in this series. I have a lot of Bronze Age to show you. These books have a lot of wonderful covers, and they're more affordable for those that are trying to wet their feet in collecting some horror books with great covers, and affordable horror books. So it's not just CGC, ECs, and Atlases. Although they are at the end of this video, we have a lot of really good quality Bronze Age, DC, and a little bit of Marvel horror thrown in. So let's get started. I got my first pile right here, and other than DC and Marvel too. This one I thought was a pretty cool cover. Maybe some of you have it. Death Rattle #1. Look at that. Really cool. Came out in the 70s. I think it's an adults only book. you know, take that for what it's worth. But really cool, right? Now, this came out. I had this in my last video, the video with Mike. You know, this was Uncanny Tales. Now, that's not Bronze Age. No, I know. This is pre-Code Atlas. But there's a reason why I'm showing you this book, other than the fact that I love it so much. If you can't get this one, or you can't find this one, Uncanny Tales 23, you could find Crypt of Shadows 8. Oh. Do you see anything similar here? In the 70s, Crypt of Shadows and several other Marvel titles swapped some of their pre-codes. Okay, that's not the only one. There's several others that have it. I know they copied some covers from Mystic on certain titles. So if you can't get the Golden Age ones, you could still enjoy a really good horror story and a really good horror cover in the Bronze Age at an affordable price. I love this one, Chamber of Chills 8. Yeah, it's really cool. I know I'm all over the place. Secrets of Haunted House. I don't have all the pumpkin covers. I know there's several pumpkin covers. This being one of them. This is my favorite out of all the pumpkin covers. We have this one, Secrets of Haunted House #5. This is a really cool skull cover. And another, Secrets of Haunted House. What number is this? 22. Here's another one. And all these that I'm showing are pretty high grade. Now, they're not super high grade, like 9.6s, 9.8s, or even 9.4s. When I say high grade, some of them are 8s. I think a lot more are 9s, maybe 9.2s, 8.5s. But they're pretty nice. They're pretty nice. And, you know, when you have these horror covers, especially the ones that have, like, the black background, which a lot of them do, not all of them, of course, or really, really deep, rich colors, you kind of want them in a nice grade because it only showcases the beauty of that cover even more. Now, not that a low-grade copy doesn't showcase the beauty, because eventually it is the artwork that comes out. But sometimes if you could just mix that artwork with all the colors and all that stuff in a nice, decent graded copy, not decent grade copy, excuse me, it only makes it even better. This is a cool one. And a lot of these I bought from Bob Storms years ago. So I was able to get these on the cheap at his store, High Grade Comics. This is not an advertisement for him, but, you know, for those that know him, he usually has a lot of quality. So here we have Secrets of Haunted House number 42. Look at that one. That's really cool. Now I'm getting into some Swamp Thing. Now, I have mostly the entire first run of Swamp Thing. I'm not going to show all of them. I just picked out a few books. I'm not going to show Swamp Thing 1 or 2. It's very easy to show those. But these I picked out because I think these are really some of my favorite covers in that first run. Here we have Swamp Thing number 6. Nice high grade. Look at that. He's fighting that robot. Really cool. I think everyone would agree this is another high grade copy of Swamp Thing number 9. A lot of people like this cover. It's okay. Yeah, I like it, but I wanted to show this. I love this one. Oh, it's talking about the colors, right? I was just mentioning a few moments ago. Swamp Thing number 11. Look at that. And again, going with the colors. Look at this. The rich colors on this nice high-grade copy of Swamp Thing number 12. The greens and the reds and the black background just look so wonderful. And the last Swamp Thing I'm showing, another one that I think is really well, the colors are wonderful on this. And another nice high-grade copy. We have Swamp Thing number 16. Look at that. Wonderful. So I'm not all Golden Age, EC, Atlas, CGC copies. I have a raw collection. A couple more here. We have a nice, I love this book. Whenever I see this book, I pick it up. This is like one of my favorite Bronze Age DC books. Weird Mystery Tales number 6. I love it. That's the bag. I was like, oh my God, is that a blemish on my comic? No. Nice high-grade copy. And of course, I got this one. This is like a 6, maybe a 6.5. I need a really high-grade copy of this. One day I'll eventually get to it. But this is one of my favorites of the Neal Adams Bronze Age horror books. Witching Hour number 14. I know he did a similar cover, which I'll show you in a few moments, but I like this one the best. Very nice. Still with me? Good. I got another pile of raw books here. Then we'll break and get into the second portion of this video with the Golden Age graded stuff. So I hope you're enjoying it. So again, for those of you that are interested in getting into these, I think this is a great start. You know, they're not super expensive. You know, obviously when you get into the higher grades, as with anything, you're going to be paying a little bit more. But if you're really into it, you really find an appreciation for the covers and the stories and all that, you know, go right ahead. Probably like a nice 8.0, 8.5 copy. We have a very underrated series in Ghosts, Ghost 12. I love mummy covers. I've been saying that for years on this channel. This is a cool one. Ghost number 28, I think. Is it 28? Yeah. How about that? This I like a lot. Ghost number 12. 28, we keep going backwards, 26. It's all mishmash, but still. That's not why we're here. We're not showing complete runs. We're showing cool covers. Ghost number 26. This I really like. The train cover of Ghost. Ghost number 30. A lot of skulls. So if you're into collecting skull covers, here's another one. Well, it's sort of like skulls. Look at this. Ghost number 33. Look at this one. That's so cool. Yeah, sometimes I forget I had these. This is the last of the ghosts I'm going to show you. I have a whole other set of ghosts, but I think these are good for this video. Ghost number 80, so it jumps a lot, but still, look at it. Like, I guess he's a moth there. Jeez. Ugh. Cool stuff. Like I was saying, then we're going to get to some House of Mystery. You know, like I said, sometimes I forget I have these because I'm so concentrated on my graded books and getting grading books and upgrading and all that stuff. Sometimes these are left out and forgotten about. So that's why I like to make a video like this every now and then, even though these videos are not necessarily popular with viewers. It's popular with me and several others because a few videos ago I talked about, you know, having a love and staying in this hobby. You're a collector at heart. Now, that changes over the years for whatever reason. And that's why I think that some of these YouTubers are constantly complaining about this and that and graded books and all that stuff. Just leave the hobby. just leave. You have to really have a heart. And, you know, this is really the heart of collecting, just enjoying what you have. I know that's cliche, but a lot of things that are cliche are true. House of Mystery 192. Look at this psycho. Another one of the pumpkin covers. Well, it's a Scarecrow pumpkin cover, right? What is this? House of Mystery 206. This is a gray tone cover. Oh, I love gray tone covers. And you can put a coffin on a gray tone cover and something that looks like a Grim Reaper. I'll buy it. Here, this is a nice grade, but I could use a better grade. I think this is like maybe a 7.5, 7.0. I wouldn't mind getting an 8.0 of this. What number is this? Oh, it's right in front of me. House of Mystery number 205. Gray tone cover. Love those gray tone covers. This was actually, I think, the very first House of Mystery I bought. And it's a pretty good grade. It's probably like an 8.5. I bought this like maybe 8 years ago. And I just bought it because it was on sale. Again, these weren't really selling. I went to one of the local comic book shops. I was like picking them up. And here, look at this. We have House of Mystery 208. Great cover, right? Nice high-grade copy. Beautiful, rich colors. And here's a classic House of Mystery 217, you know, the evil tree. It's probably like an 8. Yeah, so like I'm saying, oh, this is 8, this is 8.5. They're not worth getting graded. You know, if you have like a 9.6 or a 9.8, you think it's going to be that, then they're worth getting graded. But you just enjoy them for being raw. Have them in your collection, flip through them. Oh, now this one, Mike showed this in the last video. As a matter of fact, this is one of the copies I bought from him. It's a nice copy, but I could use an upgrade on it. It's pricey though. What did he say? This is one of the DS Comics favorites. The House of Mystery. What is this number? 236. Another mummy cover and a nice high grade House of Mystery 286. I love mummy covers. Classic Neal Adams. Very early Neal Adams House of Secrets with House of Secrets number 87. There's the other, I referred to this one. This one's probably like a 7. I should get a higher grade. Here's House of Secrets 90. This is the other kind of, not a witch cover, but very similar to the other book that I showed with the witch. Like kind of flying with a thing in the background. Here's a cool one. House of Secrets 97. Now, I don't have any of those Swamp Thing prototypes that Mike showed in last video. I should maybe get them. Oh, here's a Kaluta cover. House of Secrets 99. Oh, it's beautiful. Anybody, you know this one right here. House of Secrets 103. Another Kaluta cover. This is, I think, my favorite of the ones I showed. It's probably like a 6.5, maybe 7.0. I probably should work on getting a higher grade of this, maybe like a 9. I've been so concentrated on other things. Here's House of Secrets 105. It's a nice copy though, but. And the last of the Raw books, the last of the House of Secrets. Of course, I'm ending with another mummy cover, House of Secrets 108. So those are the Raw books for this video. Now we're going to conclude with the graded ones, all right? So give me a moment while I grab the first pile. Be right back. I'm back. Miss me? All right, these are kind of like, some of them are in an order that I want, but a lot of them just thrown together. All right, let's start out with this beauty, which I bought from Mike. Gray tone cover, right? House of Secrets 92, first appearance of the Swamp Thing. 7.5 white. Here's a cool one. One of those wedding covers that seems to be a popular collecting genre in the pre-code horror, for pre-code horror collectors. Mystic 21. The Honeymooners. This is one of my favorites right here. Crypt of Terror number 18. Now, the next book I want to show looks kind of familiar. Spellbound 10. same sort of scenario where somebody's inspecting a body and saying, oh, what's happening here? What's going on? And the hand is coming up right behind him. Similar. The Cryptoterror did it first, though. This is from, Cryptoterror is from 1950. The other one's from 52. So here's a cool one. Beyond, was it 27? I would like to get the other Beyond. I don't know the number. It's very similar to this. Blue, has very similar background, but it's the two airline pilots that are skeletons. Here's one that I don't think is an Atlas one that I think is pretty affordable, but doesn't get a lot of credit. I've seen it, though, recently at the Baltimore Comic-Con. Obviously, I didn't have to get it because my copy's in better shape. But here we have Marvel Tales 121. Yeah, I don't think too many people are aware of this one as much, but that's why maybe it's a little more affordable. All right, I'm going to grab the next set. And this is the last set for this video. I hope you've been enjoying it as much as I have. All right, I'm back, everyone. We got another pile. And we're going to get through it. The Vault of Horror number 37. This, to me, is the best EC hanging cover. Some may argue it's Crime Suspense Stories 20. I like this one. The angles, the look of it, I think it's better. And that's just my opinion. Now, I pulled this one out because I think this really showcases to me, this is Vault of Horror number 17. This really showcases to me, it's obviously a werewolf cover, the artwork of Johnny Craig, how it almost appears like a cartoon, the way he draws. And that's what I like. That's one of the things that I've always liked about Johnny Craig's artwork. It almost seems like it's a cartoon cell. You know, I like that. I like that a lot. Here's one that I added to my collection. You've seen this before in this channel. The Eerie number 1, not the original Eerie number 1, obviously, but this Eerie number 1. Saw this in the Wizard magazine came out with the top 25 most valuable books back in 92, 93, and that was one of them. Well, that was one of them back then. Things have certainly changed, but that's when I first saw that cover. Here's a good one that is sometimes left forgotten. Witch's Tales number 24. Nice colors. 6.5, but it's really nice for a 6.5. Geez. I don't understand why it's not a 7.5. But I guess that's why I don't work for CGC. Here's a really cool one that I bought up last year at the Baltimore Comic-Con. I call it the Home Alone cover. Spellbound 17. It'd been cool if Home Alone was like that. I mean, he goes up and slaps his hands on his cheek and they're like skeletons. That's a real reason to scream. This is, I mean, I'd love to get an upgrade to this. I have a 4.5 copy here. But man, I love this cover. I just love the colors. And it's a mummy cover. So, you know, I'm a little more partial to these type of covers. But here we have Journey into Unknown Worlds 24. I just love the way the colors are on this. And it looks so good for a 4.5. I mean, it does have creases on the spine. They're there, but they're not heavily noticeable. They're not very deep. But everything over here in the black is so black, and it's so red, and everything is just so crisp. Yeah, it's just such a great book. I'd love to upgrade this even more in the future. This is another book that I love, that I would love to upgrade. It's so hard to find, though. It's so hard to find, and I don't think it's that expensive. So for those of you like, oh my God, that's going to be so expensive. I don't think so. I mean, there might be people that are trying to charge you a lot for it, but I don't think it's worth that as much. As a matter of fact, with this one, here we go. Let me just show you what it is. I love this cover. Journey into Unknown Worlds 26. I was at Baltimore Comic-Con, as you know, and someone was selling it. A dealer was selling a 6.0 copy. So naturally, I'm like, oh, I got to get that. But then it was restored. But the guy was charging like non-restored prices for it. I guess he figured, well, you don't see this that often. Well, so what? If you don't see the book that often, well, you'll just have to wait until the right time. It doesn't mean I'm going to spend all that money on a restored copy. Now, if you're into that sort of thing, you go ahead and do what you want. But I'm not in that sort of thing. One of my favorite covers, as you know, Men's Adventures number 26, right? This was one of the earlier pre-code Atlas books that I saw. I saw it around the same time I saw that Mystic 28, which is not in this video, because, you know, I've showed that many times. I want to show some other books that I usually don't show. But I saw that around the same time I saw the Mystic 28 as more covers. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Here's one of my absolute favorites. This is definitely something I got to upgrade in the future, but it's kind of pricey and it's hard to find. The Astonishing 30. Yeah, I really wanted this book, and I really wanted to get this book this year, and I was very happy I was able to do that in the beginning of the year. But it's, you know, it's something else. Here's one of my favorite pre-code. Last two, okay? You know, thank you for staying with me this long. Let's see. Sorry about that. One of my absolute favorite books in my Atlas collection. And it's nice for the grade. It's 5.5. It has its flaws, absolutely, but it looks so good. It's Marvel Tales 116, the first appearance of Werewolf by Night. Not the Jack Russell version, but another version. It's amazing how many of these type of books that Marvel had in the Golden Age. The original Werewolf by Night. We had the original Black Knight. We had the original Ghost Rider. I mean, the Ghost Rider, I think he originally started with another label other than Atlas, but eventually he went to Marvel. But it's so many of those characters had like prototypes in this era, and this is one of them. Werewolf by Night says it right there. It's great, and I think this character showed up again in the next issue or the following issue, if I'm not mistaken. Really, really cool. Look at the black on it. Just so good. And the last one. This is kind of contrary to what I said a few moments ago. I'm trying to show books that I don't really show on this channel as much, but how could I not show this book? This is my absolute favorite zombie book, and I did a whole video on it, and you probably know what it is. Mystery Tales 19. 5.0. Hard to get in this grade. Very hard to find. There he is. Great cover. A lot of pre-code collectors, especially those that like Atlas, will tell you how much they love, how much they want the Marvel Tales 19. And I was very fortunate to be able to get a 5.0 copy. To those of you that are watching, are like, oh, 5.0 is like a mid-grade book. You know, where's the high-grade stuff? Well, I don't know. Good question. Nobody knows. And the high-grade copies of those, when they're found, they are super expensive. So, but thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got a chance to enjoy some of the covers that you maybe don't see when you're collecting superhero books and all that sort of stuff. A nice little change from Amazing Spider-Man, X-Men, Superman, Batman, and all the other superheroes under the sun to something a little darker, something a little more suitable for Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Take care.